Perfect! Yes! Oh my god! Yes! Hello everyone and welcome to a Halloween special of the Blind Pinterest Challenge, the series where I recreate Halloween crafts from Pinterest without any instructions because it's spooky season. It's Halloween, the best time of the year. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get my hands on some juicy, scary Halloween crafts. Well, I don't know whether they'll be scary. They might potentially be a bit cute, might be a bit of a cliche. I'm not bothered as long as it's Halloween themed. So I think the first one I want to make is a very easy Halloween craft idea. And I'm pretty sure we're looking at it, we understand what this is, but it's them paper lanterns that you mainly get from IKEA. I'm pretty sure IKEA started that kind of horrible trend off.
You ugly bitch.
And they just turn them into eyeballs. And I think it's a really fun, clever little idea. And it's kind of the decoration that'll be a good filler. You know, if you've got a bit of space and you're not like sure what you want to do with it, just whack some eyeballs in there. You could actually even put lights in there, which they, I don't think, have. Ooh, now that's exciting. There's a lot of things I could do with this. Another one I kind of fancy trying is this DIY ghost textured art. So it's not the cushion, although the cushion looks dead cute, but the thing behind it, that kind of little ghosty pattern painting. I think that's really nice, and also it's the kind of thing that's a little bit elegant, a little bit sophisticated. You could easily have that all year round in your house and no one would bat an eyelid. I'm proper into it. I don't know what medium I'm going to use to actually get them kind of marks on it, but I think that's a cute idea. I'm into it. I'm pretty sure as well in the last Halloween episode last year of the Blind Pinterest Challenge, I tried to make a witch's hat, didn't I? I think it was that episode. It didn't go well anyway. The shape of a witch's hat, it just doesn't look good at all. I was new to sewing, etc, etc. So I think I might try and redeem myself a little bit and make these little plushy bats. I think these are well cute. This is the kind of decoration as well that could go anywhere. It could be on anything. It could be incorporated in anything. You could even make them massive and make them like cushions for your couch. So much potential. Really hope I can do it, but I don't know whether I can. I'm still a little bit with sewing. And I feel like I haven't done a wreath in a while, whether it be a Halloween wreath, a Christmas wreath, whatever. And I really like this one. I'm not entirely sure what the Arkham Asylum is for the insane. I'm assuming it's some sort of horror film that I haven't seen. So yeah, it's got like nails sticking out of it, blood, bandages, a severed finger, syringes. It's really good. It's a very excellent Halloween wreath and you could just have so much fun with it. In my final craft, I am cheating a little bit, but I'm almost certain I would have come up with doing it this way. You know, it's not an impossible craft, but it's these Joe Ghost lantern things, which I think look really cool. And what I like about this as well, similar to the lampshade eyeballs and stuff, this is a very cost-effective craft project. I think sometimes, and I know from experience, crafts and DIY projects and everything, they can really cost you a lot of money. They can cost you a fortune. And I think sometimes it's nice to have just something a little bit more thrifty, a little bit more recycled, and just using like shite you already have. Not that I have these, but still. I actually don't know whether I'll be able to get bottles that large. I think this is an American thing, because we don't have juice in like giant barrels of plastic. It just doesn't happen. But I'll come up with something. I could use a milk carton. Mine will look a little different to theirs, but it's fine. I can definitely do something similar to that, and I think that'll be just as good. If not better. It might be better.
It won't.
So it's a brand new day in the studio, and your Wicked Witch is back. And anyway, I thought we would start by doing the lantern eyeballs. So I've got a pack of these paper lanterns, and I think they're all different sizes. So I tell you what, I'll do a little tiny one just to test it out first. Right, how do these work? I need the instructions. Oh, is it literally? Oh, okay. It's not hard. I don't know why I was complicating it before. It's very easy. And that just clips on there, does it? All right. I don't understand why I needed instructions. I should not have needed instructions to do that. So looking at the original pin, it looks as if the inside's been painted black, actually. This might be a little bit more complicated than I thought. Take that out for now. And I've got my little jelly paints here. I know they look a bit mouldy and gross, but that's fine. I thought I would use like a gouache or like a watercolour or something, because in the original it looks a little bit painterly. I was going to use my markers, but I don't think I'm going to get the correct effect for it. So I'm going to try and paint the inside of these first in a black. I wasn't planning on doing this, but now that I've looked at it, it looks as if that's what's happened. I don't know how strong the actual paper is on these lanterns and whether I'm going to end up going gone through it with my paint, but we will see. This is why I've started with a small one, just so I can kind of figure it out. Oh, well, no. Look, that can't be right. It doesn't look like that on the outside. Right, I think they've done something different. So that's tester 1 done, and that's a fail. Okay, they haven't done that at all. So now what I'm thinking is possibly they've just covered the hole with a bit of black card, and that makes more sense, doesn't it?
That's right, yeah.
I tell you what, I'll paint the design on first around the front. Oh my god, I've gone through it.
Please get out.
Right, I've just completely ripped the actual lantern now. This is not going well. I'm too heavy-handed with things.
Oh, fuck.
And then I'm gonna get my paint again, and we'll do this nice ochre colour. It literally looks like I've wiped my ass with it. I'm sorry for that mental picture, but it does. It just looks like a shit stain. I'm gonna try and correct it though, okay? It's gonna look lovely. Trust us. It's because in the pin it looks like they've got yellowy kind of eyes, and I don't know whether that's a vibe. I don't know whether people actually have yellow eyes, unless you're really, really severely jaundiced. And then it looks as if they've done like a bit of dark shading. Do I even risk that? I don't think I want to risk that. What I want to do though is extend this eye out a bit. I suppose as well I'm trying to make this perfect. It's a Halloween decoration, so it needs to be a bit kind of gritty and scary, doesn't it? It doesn't need to be perfection. And then I just want to take some black paint, and we'll try and outline this. I don't have the steadiest hands, so this might be a bit of a challenge. Okay, great. That's looking acceptable. Right, and now I need some black card. The only thing I have is this cheap, like, shitty craft paper, because I wasn't planning on doing this. I wasn't planning on making it this way, so this is just gonna have to do. Unless, do I have some better card? What's in this box? This box looks promising. And that's more thin black paper. I don't want that. Oh, I have some felt. I have a pack of this stuff. This could work, couldn't it? See, I tell you, my studio is equipped with a ton of shit. Don't even know when I bought this. I'll have probably bought it for something, and I don't even think I've opened it. So I need to cut a perfect circle. That's going to be hard, isn't it? I need to find something that's the same size as this. What about this little pigment pot? Okay, yes, that could work. Look at me. I am completely winging this and improvising this. Don't know whether you can tell. I had not planned to make it like this, but you know what? The juices are just flowing today.
Ew.
And the thing is as well, doing it with felt, it's going to be a lot more permanent and a lot stronger. I know for a fact if I did this with paper, it would rip and just go shitty and be an absolute mess. And then just hot glue around here and then stick it on. Okay, that's cute. I don't mind that at all. Now that I know what I'm doing, I'm going to try and make a big one, doing the same process, but I'm going to try and finesse it a little bit and just see if I can get it looking a bit better, because this one looks like a beginner one and I want it not to look like a beginner one. Okay, so we have expectation and reality, and I think this one looks a million times better than the first one I did. I'll get the first one. So that's it there. It still doesn't look too bad, but this one looks way more kind of neater and more put together. And I just think it's a clever little idea, I really do. The good thing about this is you could easily, like, zhuzh this up. I know in the original pin some of them had eyelashes and stuff, but you could do anything you wanted. What I think would be quite fun is to add some, like, bloodshot, like, vein bits down this white part, just to really give it that, like, horror vibe. And I was just curious about what it would look like with a light inside. Okay, that's interesting. It's a little bit too bright, I'm not gonna lie. If you're gonna do something like this, I don't know though, outside, if this was like an outside light and you had like loads of eyeball things, that could work, couldn't it? I think that's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a really, really clever Halloween DIY little project. I think in total, this cost me about £1 to make, because all I had to buy was the lampshades. I bought like a bulk pack of them. To be fair, I think it was less than £1 actually, and I think that's not bad at all, is it? We're starting strong with the Halloween blind Pinterest challenge. So next up, I thought I would attempt the little ghosty textured painting. And for this, I bought a proper artist medium of like model and paste, texture paste. Don't fully understand what it is. I'm pretty sure it's just to like thicken paint and to give a bit of texture. And I thought that would be fine. It'll work perfectly well. I also wanted to add my own little twist to this. And instead of doing it on a white canvas, I thought I would do it on a black canvas, just to add like a little bit of contrast, just for it to be a little bit different, you know? And then in order to get the kind of ghost shape onto the canvas, I just used an old, I believe it's a cake icing tool or something. I don't use it for that because I'm not a very good baker and icing a cake is not my thing. But I used to use it for like mixing paints and mixing latex and stuff. And it's the perfect shape to get that kind of ghosty shape. So I just tried that on the canvas and I was pleasantly surprised that it was working quite well. I was quite happy. So now it was just time to do the entire canvas and also mix in acrylic paint now and again to get a couple of colourful ghosts. Once that was done, it was looking a little bit like this, and I thought it looked alright. But now the ghosts needed some eyes so they could see. So I just got some acrylic paint and just dotted some black dots on every single ghost on this canvas. And that's pretty much it. So we have expectation and reality, and I think I've done quite a decent little job of this. It's not as straight as theirs. I kind of veered off a little bit. And also, if we get up close, that modelling paste that I used, it started to crack. So all my little ghosts have got like little fine cracks on them, and I just don't think they're going to be as permanent as I wanted them to be, unfortunately. And also some of them, the eyes are a little bit wonky and it's just a little bit messy. But from far away, it looks delicious. Also, what I will say is I don't think the black canvas, it wasn't a good idea. I don't know why I decided to do that for. This should have been done on a white canvas and it would have hid so many mistakes, but I decided to highlight my mistakes. So I didn't use all the modelling paste, but if I did, that textured modelling paste, which wasn't very good by the way, cost me £23.99.
Thief.
But I think I've only used a fraction of it, so I reckon this cost me, including the canvas, about £5, which I don't think's bad at all. If you saw this in a shop, it would be at least like 15-20 quid, and it would also not have a shitload of cracks on it. So for the third Halloween craft project in this episode, I thought I would try the light up ghosty jugs. Now I looked in the supermarket to see if I could find some sort of juice or just some sort of anything that goes in these giant American barrel containers, and I couldn't find them. I don't think we sell them kind of things in the UK. And the closest thing I could get were milk jugs, and these look a little bit sad, I'm not gonna lie, but it's just gonna have to happen, okay? I've got 3 of them, and we'll just make it work, you know? For this, I think I just need to draw a face on it, don't I? Yeah, just draw a cute face. Okay, I can do that, that's fine. Also, I did wash this milk carton out with boiling hot water, which is why it's like collapsed in on itself, but just ignore that. I don't drink milk, I drink oat milk, so I've just had to collect the old milk cartons from my dad. Obviously I haven't finished making this, but I can already tell you it's a ridiculously easy craft to make. Just in case you're wanting something cheap and cheerful to decorate your house or your garden or whatever, these are gonna be it. I don't know how well they'll fare up in the UK though, because these would just like blow away. It can get quite windy and stormy during Halloween here in the UK. Although sometimes I've known Halloween, weirdly, has been like really warm. We've had a very strange like Halloween a couple of times where it's been unusually almost hot. You can just never predict it. I remember one time when I was younger, I went trick-or-treating at Halloween, and I remember being so ridiculously cold to the point where I felt like my fingers were going to drop off. I was that icy cold. And then I think the year after that, I remember being boiling hot. I wish we just had a bit more consistency when it came to weather. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I was trying to get in the mood for Halloween the other day, and I thought I would watch 28 Years Later, because I love 28 Days Later. I love 28 Weeks Later. Fantastic horror zombie films, and 28 Years Later looked really good. I saw the trailer and stuff, so I was like, oh, you know what, I'll pop that on. 28 Years Later. And I don't want to say this, I really don't want to say it, but it was shit. It was such a shit film. It didn't feel like a horror film, and I was expecting it to be something it wasn't. It almost felt like a little kind of adventure film with a bit of a tiny horror twist, but it wasn't scary, it wasn't spooky, it wasn't jumpy, it was the kind of film where I finished watching it and I was like, what was the point? Like, I felt so unsatisfied. I felt bored on parts of it. I started flicking through my phone because I was bored, because it was just like loads of dialogue and it wasn't going anywhere, and I was just super disappointed. I'm sure other people have a different opinion on that film, but for me, it didn't cut it at all. It wasn't anything like the first two. And also as well, I just thought it had way more potential. It could have gone a completely different way. I don't understand why they focused on that specific storyline for, and the entire film just be about that, basically. I was proper excited as well because it was filmed in the Northeast, and obviously I live and I'm from and born and raised in the Northeast, but it just didn't cut it. And also as well, where they filmed Holy Island, if obviously you've watched the film and stuff, that is an actual place, by the way. I've been there. I went there when I was younger, and it is true it gets cut off by the tide. I'm pretty sure there's a road and you drive up to Holy Island. I remember I went with my grandparents when I was really young, and then you have to drive at certain times, otherwise you can't get back or you can't get to it. Just in case anyone thought it was like a made up place, it's not, it's a real place. There is a film called Weapons out, and that looks really good, and I'm tempted to watch that. It's just trying to get time though. I literally don't have any time at all. So when my time gets wasted by a shit film, I'm furious. So I've got 3 spooky faces on these milk jugs, and I think in the original pin it looks like they've used fairy lights or something to light them up, but I already have these in the studio and I think these will give like a spookier effect anyway, and they're just little flickering candles. I know I keep using these, but it's because I've got boxes of them. I don't know where they all came from. Will I ever run out of these? I don't know. Oh, they don't fit in.
Rude.
I'll tell you what I can do though. I'm just gonna make a little slit in the back because no one's gonna look at the back anyway, so it's fine. There we go. It doesn't look like much at the minute because obviously the lights are on, but I'm hoping when the lights are out, it'll look quite nice. Fingers crossed. So we have expectation and reality, and I think mine definitely have like a different effect to them. It almost looks like they're on fire. I don't know whether fairy lights would look better actually. Let me just have a look and see if I've got some fairy lights and we can compare them. So you've got a very different kind of vibe. This one, obviously it just looks like there's some fairy lights jammed inside of it. And then this one, I don't know, it's got like more of a spooky kind of look to it. But I still think it's a clever little idea and dead cheap. So cheap in fact that these cost me absolutely nothing. Yes, it was just some old milk cartons that I had to wash out. If you were making them, you would obviously need to purchase some lights or something, I would have thought. But because I'm a hoarder, I have multiple different variety of lights. So now I fancied something a little bit gory, and I decided I would tackle the wreath. So I just decided I would use a polystyrene wreath base. I think this will be the most practical option. And I started off by hot gluing and wrapping a load of bandages around the full surface of the wreath. And then at the very bottom, I decided to wrap some bandages and do like a little bit of a messy dangly bit, similar to what they had in the pin. I then decided to hot glue a very realistic severed finger to this wreath, and also accompanied it with a syringe. Around the side of the wreath, I also decided to hot glue some nails and push them in. I just used glue just to keep them secure, but I don't think it actually needed it. But, you know, better to be safe than sorry. And then I bought these white leather straps, which I thought would be perfect. They were a little bit small to wrap around the circumference of the wreath, so I did have to add some additional holes just so I could get them securely attached. I then decided I fancied another finger.
I bet you do.
Because it was just looking a bit empty for my liking. And I also added a chain at the top just so I could hang the wreath. And then finally, to gore it up, I just covered the entire thing in a red acrylic ink and just went to town, splattered the entire thing, dribbled it everywhere. The bloodier the better. So we have expectation and reality. And mine looks a little bit different because I didn't do the archime sign thing or whatever that was, and I also didn't do the anatomy pictures because apparently that archime asylum thing or whatever, it's from like Batman or something like that, and I just didn't fancy it. I thought it looked better just as this kind of bloody bandaged wreath. It takes away the specificness of it all and it just makes it a little bit more kind of ambiguous. I love the nail effect. The only thing is, obviously you've got the hot glue shown. I wouldn't do that if I did it again. Kind of ruined it a little bit, but I could hide that with something if I wanted to. And although this has like a lot of stuff happening, it wasn't actually that expensive. I think it cost me around about £12 to make, which I don't think is too bad considering it's a fully decorated, a lot going on kind of wreath. I think if I hung this on my door though, it would literally terrify people. I don't think anyone would want to come into my house or knock on my door or want anything to do with us. And that sounds like a pretty good idea, good plan. You're going on my door. So I've decided to leave the one that I'm the most worried about till last. And that's obviously sewing the cute little bat decoration, which might sound really simple to some people, and that's fine, but I'm still struggling a little bit, okay?
Something a Teletubby would wear to a party.
But anyway, I've bought this cute Halloween fabric, and I think this is adorable. Look at that, pumpkins, they're cute. And I think my first step of this is I just need to draw out the body of the bat and draw out a wing. And if I just double it all over, I should only need one drawn of the body and one drawn of the wing? I don't know. It'll make sense when I start doing it, I think. I want to go a little bit on the larger side because obviously there's going to be a seam allowance, which is something I always forget about. So if we just draw, I have to think that's going to be an ear. Okay, I think that might do, you know. Let me just cut that out first and see what that's going to look like. What do we think? That's the bat's body. I think that looks okay, you know. And then I'm thinking, because I want obviously all these wings to be the same, can I not quadruple the fabric? And then that'll give us 4. Is that allowed? I'm going to do it.
Hi, Daredevil.
And I'm going to use the body as a reference so I don't get confused. Up like that, down like that. I'll do that, and then it'll go up, down, up, down, up. And that should be correct. I don't also know why I've done it all the way over here instead of there, but never mind. Okay, and there we have a wing shape, and we've got 4 of these, 2 wings. Perfect! Yes! Oh my god! Yes! That's all going okay. It's going very good today. So now it's time to sew this together, and I'm wondering how they've done it. I don't think they've done it all at once and done all the wings and stuff. I think they've done it in separate pieces and then sewn them together. I'm going to clip this together and I'm going to leave some bits open at the sides for the wings, and that's where I'm going to actually stuff it. I think that makes sense. Originally I was going to freehand all of this and not kind of clip it all together and stuff, because I'm getting impatient now and I want to be amazing at sewing. But I have to remind myself that I'm not one of these people you see on the internet who can just willy-nilly whip something out and sew it together. That's not my thing, and if I attempt to do it that way, it all goes wrong. So yes, I'm going to clip everything and do everything very methodically, even when it still may go wrong, but it has less chances of going wrong this way. Okay, we are all clipped. Now it's time to sew. So that's all of those sewn together. Now let's turn them inside out and we will see what it ends up looking like. I don't feel like I had any disasters. It didn't kind of freak us out or anything. So that's a good sign and it's a good start. But I can never ever tell what it's actually going to look like. And also it was quite a tricky bit of sewing. It looks like a simple little thing, but there was a lot of like stopping and starting. And the shape's a bit strange. That doesn't look awful. That really genuinely doesn't look really bad. So I'm happy about that.
It's a miracle. A wonderful, incredible miracle.
See what the wings are looking like. These are going to be really hard to turn inside out, I've just realised. You know what? They look cute. That looks like a very, very ridiculously cute wing, doesn't it? I haven't made mine right. I know I haven't. I can already tell I haven't made it right. This bit here, this needed to be like way longer, but never mind. Mine are going to have like very thin wings and they're going to be high up apparently. I feel like my wings should really go down here and not up here. Their wings attach like all the way up here and that's not going to look right on mine. Now I just need to stuff everything. Well, that's fine. It's going to be a little bit tricky because there's no space. Okay, I shall be back once I finally stuff this stupid bat because I feel like it's going to take us hours. So I finally got all the elements of my bat stuffed. And this is the issue I'm having. I should have really sewn this fully like that and just left a little gap and then stuffed it. But now I've got these 2 ugly bits at the ends. And I can't sew the wings like that because that's going to look ridiculous, isn't it? So they're going to have to kind of go down here. So I'm going to try and sew this together and potentially add some like detail onto the wings like they've done. Don't know how that's going to go. And then we'll just see what happens. So I think I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. So we have expectation and reality. And you know what? Considering I'm not very good at sewing, I don't think I've done an awful job at this. And look at that, I've even added some like pattern details on the wings with my sewing machine, which I thought was going to be really hard. And it was. The only thing that really, really lets this down, and I'm really irritated about it, is the wings. Like, look. It's just a sad bat. The wings don't stay up. So I don't understand what's happened there. You know what? I still stand by that. It's not too bad at all. And it feels nice, you know. It feels like spongy and padded and it feels like a proper like hard decoration. For professional sewers, this would be a fail. But for me, this is 1000% a win. I'm actually really pleased with it. I think it's quite nice anyway. Some other people might not, and then people can piss off. But how much did my cute little floppy bat cost us to make? I reckon in materials it probably cost us about £1.50 or something. Not bad at all. And I'm going to cherish this because I think it's okay. But anyway, hopefully you have enjoyed today's Halloween special of the Blind Pinterest Challenge. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And honestly, I think it's been a rather successful one. I'm not gonna lie, I've had way worse episodes. In fact, I don't think I've necessarily like megally failed on anything really. Yeah, some of mine don't look fantastic, but I made a bat. I'm proper chuffed with this bat, you know, really chuffed. And that could even be like a brooch or something, couldn't it? Oh, look. Like outfit. Oh my god, just me and my pet bat. But yes, let me know which Halloween craft was your favourite in the comments below and whether you'll be attempting any of them. And I'll see you next week for some more Halloween videos. What shall we call my bat? We'll call him Lazy, because he's just a bit lazy, isn't he? I've still got sewing sweats too. It's giving us a bit of a headache actually. You've proper stressed us out, you know.